How did welcoming my stepson into our home destroy my marriage? David asked me to let his son move in on a Wednesday night in March. We were sitting at our kitchen table eating pasta when he brought it up. Kevin lost his apartment and needs somewhere to stay for a few months while he finds his footing. He's been struggling since his mother died. I put down my fork and looked at my husband of 2 years. Kevin was 26 years old and had lived on his own since he was 20. Of course he can stay here. Family helps family. David reached across the table and squeezed my hand. His eyes got wet and he told me I was the most generous woman he'd ever known. Kevin moved in 3 days later with 2 suitcases and a laptop. He was tall and thin with David's dark hair and his mother's sharp features. When I showed him the guest room, he barely looked at me. Thanks for letting me crash here. I'll be out as soon as I can. His voice was flat and his handshake was limp. David made excuses over dinner that night. He's grieving. His mother only died 8 months ago. He just needs time and support. The first week was fine. Kevin stayed in his room most of the time. I heard him on the phone talking about job applications and apartment searches. He ate breakfast after we left for work and was usually in his room when we got home. On Sunday, I made a big dinner and invited him to join us. He came downstairs in sweatpants and a stained shirt, sat at the table and ate without speaking. David tried to make conversation about jobs, and Kevin gave one-word answers. After dinner, Kevin went back upstairs and David told me to be patient. He's depressed. His whole life fell apart. We're doing the right thing. I loaded the dishwasher and wondered how long a few months actually meant. Week 2 brought small changes. Kevin started coming downstairs more often. He'd make himself food and leave dishes in the sink. I'd come home from my nursing shift at the hospital and find his mess everywhere. Plates crusted with food, empty beer bottles on the coffee table, his shoes in the middle of the hallway. I asked David to talk to him about cleaning up after himself. David said he would, but nothing changed. By week 3, Kevin was comfortable enough to criticize. I made chicken for dinner and he pushed it around his plate. My mom made it with lemon and garlic. This is kind of bland. David laughed and said everyone has different tastes. I sat there feeling judged in my own kitchen. The next night I ordered pizza and Kevin complained about the toppings. Who gets mushrooms on pizza? That's weird. David told him to just pick them off. I bit my tongue and wondered when Kevin planned to contribute groceries or money or anything besides complaints. I brought it up to David in our bedroom that night. Kevin needs to help with expenses or at least clean up after himself. He's been here almost a month. David got defensive immediately. He's my son and he's going through hell. Can you have some compassion? I felt my face get hot. I have compassion, but I also have standards for how people behave in our home. David turned away from me and said we'd talk about it later. We didn't talk about it. Kevin stayed and the mess grew. Month 2 started with Kevin asking to borrow my car. I have a job interview downtown and the bus takes forever. I'll have it back by 3. I handed him my keys even though something felt wrong about it. He returned the car at 7 with the gas tank empty and a dent in the passenger door. Some idiot hit me in a parking lot and drove off. Not my fault. I looked at the damage and felt sick. My insurance deductible was $1,000. When I asked Kevin if he got the other driver's information, he got annoyed. I just said they drove off. What do you want me to do? David came home and immediately took Kevin's side. Accidents happen. At least he's okay. The car can be fixed. I stood in our garage looking at the dent and realized David would always choose Kevin over me. The repair cost came out of my savings because David said Kevin didn't have money to pay for it. He's trying to get back on his feet. We can't burden him with this. I paid the deductible and drove around with a dented door for 3 weeks waiting for the repair appointment. Kevin didn't get the job. Didn't get any job. He stopped mentioning interviews and started spending his days on our couch watching television and scrolling through his phone. I'd come home exhausted from 12-hour shifts and find him exactly where I left him that morning. David made excuses every time I brought it up. The job market is tough. He's sending out applications. These things take time. I started keeping track. Kevin applied to 3 jobs in 6 weeks. 3. He had a bachelor's degree in business and 5 years of work experience before his mother died. There was no reason he couldn't find something. I suspected he just didn't want to. Why work when he had free room and board and no expectations? One evening I sat next to Kevin on the couch and asked him directly about his job search. How many applications did you send out this week? He didn't look up from his phone. A few. Why are you interrogating me? I kept my voice calm. I'm not interrogating you. I'm asking about your progress because you've been here 2 months and nothing has changed. Kevin finally looked at me and his expression was cold. He said, "Full story is linked below or on my channel."